Have you ever held on to anger so long that it started to hold on to you? Are you tired of carrying the weight of resentment? If you're nodding your head right now, you're not alone. Forgiveness is hard, but it's possible. And today, we're going to walk through how you can let go, heal, and finally be free. Here's something most people don't realize. Forgiveness isn't just about the other person, it's about you. It's about taking back your power, reclaiming your peace, and choosing joy over bitterness. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's strength. In fact, forgiveness is one of the most courageous acts you can do. It breaks cycles of generational pain. It rewrites your story. Let me tell you about Joseph, the dreamer sold into slavery by his own brothers. Years later, after rising to power in Egypt, he had the chance to punish them, but instead, he forgave them. Why? Because Joseph knew that holding on to pain would only chain his heart. He said in Genesis 50:20, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Joseph's forgiveness not only restored his family, it saved an entire nation from famine. Then there's Jesus, hanging on the cross, bleeding, rejected, and innocent. Yet he looked down at those who mocked him and said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." That's not just forgiveness, that's divine love in action. Jesus chose to absorb our sins so we could be free. That's the ultimate model of mercy. And don't forget Stephen, the first Christian martyr. As he was being stoned, he cried out, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." Even in his final breath, he chose peace over revenge. He died praying for his enemies. And guess who was watching? A man named Saul, who would later become the Apostle Paul, the greatest missionary of the early church. Stephen's forgiveness planted a seed. What about the prodigal son's father in Luke 15? The son squandered everything, disrespected his father, and came crawling back, and yet, the father ran to meet him, embraced him, and celebrated his return. That's how God embraces us when we turn back from bitterness or sin. And then there's Hosea, a prophet who was told by God to marry a woman who would be unfaithful to him. Even after she betrayed him, God asked Hosea to take her back, a living picture of God's relentless love and willingness to forgive his people, even when they're faithless. Now I want to ask you, who do you need to forgive today? It might be someone from your past, or maybe it's yourself. Take a moment, breathe, comment below. I choose forgiveness if you're ready to let go and heal. Sometimes forgiveness starts with a whisper, "I'm tired of hurting." Sometimes it starts with tears, but the Holy Spirit meets you in that moment of surrender and begins the healing. Here's how to start. Name the hurt. Be honest about how it affected you. Release your right to get even. Surrender it to God. Replace bitterness with blessing. Pray for that person. Repeat the process. Forgiveness is often a journey, not a one-time act. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. Sometimes it means creating healthy boundaries while still releasing the offense. You may not feel like forgiving. That's okay. Forgiveness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And when you choose it, healing follows. Friend, forgiveness doesn't change the past, but it can completely transform your future. It frees your heart to love again, hope again, and live again. Choose peace today. Choose healing. Choose forgiveness. If this message moved you, share it with someone who needs this encouragement. And remember, you are loved, you are strong, and you are never alone. God's grace is bigger than your pain.